Now, what is that we are trying to do is, we shall try to create a UDF that can be applied on data frame. Okay, so this is the function simply we have created where we have applied this function on transformation of an RDD, isn't it? Field missing of X. Okay, now we shall try to create a UDF that can be applied to a column of data frame. That will be different. That is called as SQL UDF, Spark SQL UDF. Okay, so how we are going to do that? So df2 equal to, let me create data frame, spark dot read dot format csv dot load, sorry, option of info schema. I think we have schema already. Let's try to info the schema and load. I don't know whether we have header or not. After loading, we shall see that. The file name is answer data 10. It's a CSV file. Okay. Now let's print some sample records, some 5. Let me clear all the outputs. Yeah, fine. Yeah, we have the column names also. We can include the header also here. Option that to be true. Right. Still execute once again. Control enter. We'll execute the script again. Yeah, now we got this, guys. df2 dot show dot 5. Okay. Now can you tell me something where we can implement our user defined function? We have different types of data here, so just go through it and you can tell me. Otherwise I will print some 10 rows here, that we can have better view of the idea, that data in the data frame. We have id, name, age, gender and state, symptoms, diagnosis, cancer, all these. So we shall try to play with this data first, and I'm writing some UDFs and all those. Let me print only some 5 rows here. Select, I would like to select id and sqrt of age. Show some 5. So it is throwing an error. Let's see what the error is. Name sqrt is not defined. What must be this? This is a predefined function, right? We need to import this module sql.functions. So which function you are trying to import? Import function name is sqrt. Okay, we can write like this individually. Run this now. Now you can see this. Just I'm trying to find out square root here. Okay, 6 for
Yeah.
I think did he use ID? Okay, ID. Otherwise I will use age only. Age and its corresponding square root. So 45 its square root.
Okay.
Is it 6 dot correct only? Square root of age 45 6. Yeah, correct only. It's correct only. 8 square 64, right? So 8 point something, that would be equal to 65. That's fine. Now this is a function. Likewise, so there are certain set of already functions, predefined functions are there. So if none of the functions is meeting our requirements, then what we do is, what we have to do is, we have to write our own function. That's called as UDF, user defined function.
Yeah.
Okay, so if none of the
Mm.
functions is meeting our requirements, we have to write our own function. Like sqrt, we have many functions, almost some 256 or 290 functions are there. I don't know exact figure, but if none of them meet us our requirements, but mostly they meet our requirements, but sometimes. Okay, so in that case we have to define our own function, and that function we must be able to apply to a column of this data file. So now we
Okay.
are able to apply this sqrt to call a to a column, right? We're applying this to a column. Age is a
Mm.
column.
Mm.
So here we have defined a function, and that function must be applied to a column of this data frame. That will be called as a SQL, Spark SQL UDF. Okay, it's very simple. The function creation will be same as that of only, but only thing is we have to register it with that. Let me show you how that will be done. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a UDF. So what I do is, here I multiply age by itself. I multiply age by itself, I would just would like to see the result. Okay, let's assume that already there is a function is there, but I would like to not to go with that. Just I would like to write on my own. I call it as some f2. What is the input? Some, let's say some input x, and what is that I'm trying to write? Return x into x minus x. Something I'm doing some operation, very simple, some random operation. So when we pass some x, some integer, it is trying to perform multiplication, subtraction, and after adding it. Percentile some 2, let's say percentile 2. Okay, this is what I'm returning. Okay, now let's try this. Let's see. So if I pass some integer f2 of some 20, what is it going to give the throw? What is going to, what is that is going to return here? Let's see this. So it is going to return
Yeah.
0. So percentile to it is 0, right? Some, let's say x into 20 into 20, 40, 40 minus. So percent not percentile 2. Let us do divide. It will give the quotient.
It
Yeah,
should be
perfect.
190. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
190. Perfect. Okay. Likewise, we shall try to, now we are able to apply this to only one value, but not like that. We must be able to apply the function f2 to the
Column.
to a column, not just only. Okay, so if you try to apply this directly to a column, what is going to happen? Just see this. So if you try to apply this to f2, f2 to the age, see what's going to happen. So what is the error it is throwing here? What is the exception? Can't multiply sequence by non-int of type string. Sir, actually that is string, that is passed as string. Why do you think age is, what is the syntax? That type of age, it is passed as string. Did we mention infer schema in this? Right, infer schema we have mentioned, but how come it is showing that? One second, let us print the schema of this. df2 dot print the schema. Yeah, age is integer only, right? Here we have age as integer only. Then how come we have this? So this is the problem actually. So we can't pass all the values, right? We can't pass all the values to f2. We can pass only one integer value. But here we are trying to apply that to a column whose data type is integer. We must be able to do this actually. So it's not supporting. In this case, what we have to do is we have to register this function f2 with Spark SQL functions, with already existing functions, list of existing functions. Okay. So how we can do that is very simple. That is spark dot udf dot register, spark dot udf register, and let me call as my function, and this is going to the alias name and f2, and what's the type of it? Integer type. That's what we are trying to apply to integers. And my function, this is syntax guys they have given to register a function, equal to udf of f2 comma integer type. Okay, so for integer type we need to square root as well as udf. Okay, even udf is also a predefined function. Okay, so further we need to import udf also, and from types we have to import integer type from PySpark.sql dot types. Import what? Integer type. Integer type. Okay, this fine guys. Now this has to work. If this works fine, if this gets registered, then this has to work. Let's see this. Something wrong again.
Instead of F2, you have to use my
Yeah,
function
yeah,
again.
yeah, sorry, yeah, yeah. myfunc, forgot. My function. We have to use my function. Is the spelling correct? Fine. Again, some issue. What is it? unsupported types first, none type and none type. So the issue is here in the column we have elements called as nulls. Actually, we have nulls. So that null is by default is it is not supporting for it is not taking as integer actually. So how can we eliminate these nulls? The entire row with all the nulls, all the rows with nulls.
Drop uh, drop any.
We can do like this: df3 equal to df2 dot na dot drop df3 dot show. Let me give it as df3. Let us apply this one df3. I think that is going to delete all the rows with nulls. This is one. Okay, just try. Yeah, it's dropped. Yeah, perfect. We got it finally. Okay, f2 of age 45,990. Just me print again only some records instead of show. Let me print only 5 rows here. Yeah, perfect. Now you can see the output, guys. You can see this now. This is corresponding to the printing of the entire data frame first. Okay, so after that we are applying the function f2 of age. So corresponding to 45 we got 990, 56, 154, 65, 2080. Okay, these are the two steps for the creation of what registering. This is the registering the data frame, not sorry, UDF with Spark SQL functions. Is it fine, guys?